Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you for your response to my last video that was with respect to pharmacy courses and various job opportunities available in the market. So today, as I promised you in the last video, that I am going to explain pharmacovigilance. So in this video, we will see that what exactly is the pharmacovigilance, its overview, and various career opportunities in the pharmacovigilance field. So first part, so let's move to the content. So in content, we'll see the introduction part. So in this, we'll see what exactly is the pharmacovigilance. Then we'll see the history. So there are some historical events which triggered the need of pharmacovigilance. So we'll see that. After that, we'll see how exactly pharmacovigilance works, like what are the steps involved in that, and so by looking at by after you go through this part, you'll understand what are the work streams, because based on the PV activities, work streams are definitely those are linked with those things. And then we'll see one case study where you will see one. I'll walk you through the one practical example how pharmacovigilance is important, or how it what is the outcome of pharmacovigilance study. And then various top companies, those who provide job opportunities in the pharmacovigilance world, and location, so that it will help you to while applying for a particular company. So, pharmacovigilance. What exactly is the pharmacovigilance? So, pharmacovigilance is nothing but, it is derived from two words. It's combination of two words. One is like pharmakon, that is obviously last time you have seen. It's a Greek word for drug, and vigilare, that is Latin for keep watch. So, pharmacovigilance is nothing but, in simple words, like continuous watching on the drug, keep watching the drug. What are the with respect to the adverse events. So if you see the definition, so pharmacovigilance or drug safety is nothing but science and activities relating to the collection, detection, assessment, monitoring, and prevention of adverse effects with pharmaceutical products. So collection, pharmaceutical company, they will collect the adverse drug reactions from various sources. We'll see in detail. And then there will be detection, and then assessment whether it's related to the pharmaceutical company's drug or not. Then monitoring, and accordingly, if it is related with the company's drug, then definitely what exactly is the strategy to prevent those risks. So this is the meaning or the definition of the pharmacovigilance. Then, as I mentioned, what were the historical events which triggered pharmacovigilance needs? So, sulfanilamide disaster, that was the one of the thing. So, if you are currently reading the news, or you must have heard that WHO banned four cough syrups manufactured in the India, Gujarat, and those companies only have marketing. Export license. So WHO identified that there are more than or around 60 deaths in the South Africa, Gambia. So those children, they were using those cough syrups. So same, history is repeating currently with this self-phenomenal disaster or tragedy, you can say. So we'll just see what exactly was this. So this is one of the newspaper cutting, victim of bottle death. Okay, so we'll just see what exactly was the this tragedy, sulfanilamide tragedy. So in 1937, elixir sulfonamide was manufactured by this company, SC company. So that killed around 107 people, including many children. So, this is like at that time there were no mandatory things like you need to do clinical studies and all these things. So that's why it did not come into the picture. Like company's chief pharmacist, he had experimented and found that sulfonamide will dissolve in diethylene glycol. So that was solvent that was used to dissolve the sulfanilamide drug. And as there were no studies done on this new sulfanilamide preparation, so they failed to identify the characteristic of the solution. So diethylene glycol, it's a chemical that is normally used as an antifreeze, but that is a deadly poison. So this was the mistake. So this was the solvent or additives, we can say. So American Medical Association, AMA laboratory, they isolated that, and they find out that diethylene glycol was the toxic ingredient. And immediately they issued a warning through newspaper and radio that elixir sulfonamide is a toxic and deadly, so it should be withdrawn from the market, or if someone is using, they should stop it. The incident has done that final enactment in 1938. So this was the incident, which not only, I mean, this is very old event. So at that time there was no any kind of rule or regulation. So this event in 1938, due to this, Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, and I mean, it came into the picture. So that was the FDA and regulation. So this was the event that triggered the rules and regulation, you can say. So there are many events, but these are the events which, like, those were like, you can say, tragedies. So they changed the scenario of the pharmaceutical world. So another one is thalidomide disaster or tragedy. So you can see in this picture. So there are children who don't have hands. There are some childs who don't have legs. So this is the disease, or this is, I mean, to this particular part, it's called as phocomelia. So they were pregnant women. So they were given this sedative thalidomide. There will be pregnancy related nausea will be there. So this drug was used in 1950s and early 1960s. So when I mean, childs were delivered, it was found that there are severe birth defects in thousands of children. So there it was like a time at in that duration in USA and in some other area wherever it was used. I mean, thousands of child in that particular period, they were like this, suffering from phocomelia. So that was one of the biggest tragedy due to this thalidomide. So though the use of thalidomide, so this is the scenario just for your understanding. Though the thalidomide was banned in most of the countries at that time, thalidomide proved to be a useful treatment for leprosy and later multiple myeloma. So this is also one of the point which you can consider uh, helpful. Like for example, if there is an issue with the drug for particular population or age group, at that time, that with the help of studies we can change this, I mean, use of that drug. So it will be banned in the pregnant patient, but it can be used, because definitely identification of the new drug is very long and tedious process. You cannot I mean, find out new molecule very easily. Okay, so, and these are the leprosy and multiple myeloma, these are chronic severe diseases. So we need treatment for those as well. Okay, so that was not banned directly, but it was only restricted to the population. But if we are not communicating it properly, then what can happen? So that is also one of the use of pharmacovigilance. It should be communicated. I mean, whatever is happening, that should be communicated to the rest of the world, that these are the things or signals. So in rural areas of the world, that lack of extensive medical surveillance initiatives, thalidomide treatment of pregnant women with leprosy has continued to cause malformation. So though we are using it for leprosy, it should be clearly I mean, understood by the physicians or the pharmacist, is as well as everyone who is dealing with the drugs, that this drug is, I mean, causing severe birth defects. So though if patient is suffering from leprosy, but if she is pregnant, then this drug should not be prescribed. So if proper communication is not there, then also issue can happen. So need of pharmacovigilance. So I mean, some of you might be thinking that already we are doing the animal experiments or the clinical trials where I mean, human exposure is there. Then why? What is the need of pharmacovigilance? So the, I mean, first we'll see the aim. Why we are doing the pharmacovigilance? The aim is to assure the safety of medicines and vaccines or any drug related things by ensuring reliable and timely exchange of information on safety issues. So just now we have seen that if you are not exchanging the information with respect to safety issues of the drug, so what can happen with respect to thalidomide, we have seen that as it was not communicated in rural areas, most due to that, what is happening, though we are aware that thalidomide is causing this, still continue to be having cause malformation. So this is the aim. So there should be effective communications. Okay, so timely exchange of the information. So that is the one of the aim of the pharmacovigilance. So if it should not be restricted to one company, so they have identified something, or it should not be restricted to any part of the world, like India is identifying something and the rest of the world is not aware about this. So everyone should be aware about any signals or any new findings that is coming to the picture, because that's with respect to the health. It's not we cannot take it for granted. Okay, so that is the need of the pharmacovigilance, that is the aim of the pharmacovigilance. And what is the need? So though clinical trials are we are conducting the clinical trials, it's mandatory for any drugs before coming into the market. But what is happening, taste in the animal are insufficiently predictive. So it's not like that whatever is happening in the animal, same thing will happen to the humans. It's not a replica. Okay, sometimes it may be, or sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes animals are not suffering from anything, but human may suffer, or sometimes animals are having some issues, but humans might not have. But if animals are having something, then definitely it will not be coming to the it will not be exposed to the human beings. Then second thing, in clinical trials, patients are selected. So we are selecting like in clinical trial phase one, healthy voluntary will be there, and then later on something will there. So there will be selection criteria, then exclusion criteria, including criteria, and limited number will be there. So what will happen? By this way, we'll miss rare adverse event. There are some adverse drug reactions or side effects, you can say. Those are like specific with respect to the some group, some based on the race, ethnicity, or genetic nature of the that population which it is exposed. So some that type of rare adverse drug reaction, there are chances that we will miss. Okay, because if drug will come into the market, then definitely all types of patients, all types of, irrespective of the race and group or ethnic origin, everyone will use that drug. So rare adverse event also come into the, if there are any hidden adverse events, those will also be come into the picture. Then conditions of use in clinical trials differ from regular clinical practice. That in regular practice, in clinical trials, physicians will be there, nurses will be there, pharmacists will be there. They will ask the patient to take the drug on time. They will not give, all the mandatory things will be followed properly. Like if it is taken on that time, then it will be taken on that same time. No other medicines will be given, or that type of protocols will be followed. But when drug come into the market, so patient might not have informed the doctor that I am also taking this medicine. So there are chances of drug interaction. He will, sometimes doctors, they try some other off-label use. It is not indicated at the time of clinical trial, but due to regular practice, they came to know that okay, this can be used for that as well, that particular indication. So sometimes some alcoholic patient, they are taking it with respect with alcohol. Some are crushing the tablet, some are chewing the tablet. So all types of permutation combinations will come out here in this. Those are not cannot happen in the clinical trials. So that's the reason. Then duration of clinical trial is limited. While due to this, what will happen? Like we may miss the adverse drug reactions which develop after years. So there are some diseases or adverse events, like for example, cancer. It's a chronic disease. Like if patient is taking the drug for like number of years, like 2 years, 5 years, then only these types of adverse drug reaction will come into the picture. So as clinical trial is, we cannot conduct one clinical trial till so due to this, there are chances that we will miss such type of adverse drug reactions. And last but not least is the special groups. Definitely we cannot use children or very elder patient, or for that matter, or pregnant women in the clinical trials. Then how exactly the pharmacovigilance works? So these are the sources. So you can see here, pharmaceutical companies, they will give some type of telephone number, toll free numbers, email IDs, fax numbers. They will do some type of workshops. They will train, or they will encourage healthcare professionals that please report us. So they can call and report or email. So that is called a spontaneous report. Then there will be literature reports where physicians or healthcare professionals, they will publish their articles in the medical journals. So that is one of the source to identify the events or side effects. Then clinical trial data is also getting, it's also monitored. Then regulatory reports, healthcare professionals or reporters or consumers, they will report the things to regulatory authorities, and they will inform to the pharmaceutical company. And then licensed partner, or there are some other companies, we are calling it as courtesy reports, like other manufacturing company, they will inform the other company. That is mandated by law. It's mandatory for them that whenever they are observing any adverse event along with their drug, then they should inform to the other respective pharmaceutical company. So these are the sources. Going to the details of the ICSR and all these things, because I am going to prepare another video on the interview questions and all these things. So at that time we will see all these things, meanings and all of this ICSR, triage and all. So ICSR is nothing but individual case safety reports. For single patient, we are creating one case, that is ICSR. So after processing the ICSR, so if one patient is taking the drug and there is one event, so we cannot, definitely it's happening. So for finding out some relations, we need to do some statistical studies, and for that we need to, what we have to do, we have that is called as aggregate reports. So we will find out some cumulative data, like for 6 months, 1 year or 3 year, and in that we'll do some statistical analysis, and based on that some signal will generate. So what exactly signal will generate and what exactly aggregate reports and all, we'll see that. So based on these signals and all, what we can do, after submitting these to regulatory authorities, review of the marketing status. For example, like sulfanilamide, if it is causing something dangerous, the way I give you example, only death is happening, so market, it will be withdrawn from the market. The way we have seen in that radio and all newspaper, they were informed that this drug is dangerous, it should be stopped. Okay, so regulatory authority will withdraw the license. We can amend the prescribing information. We are going to see this, what exactly is the prescribing information and amendment in the case study. Then risk minimization measures. How can we minimize the risk? Like for example, we can inform that okay, so this is there is issue with the pregnant females, then we should restrict the use in that particular thing. Or other thing is in sulfanilamide case, for example, diethylene glycol is the culprit. So we can try to find out if there is another solvent available, so that that issue will not happen. So this is risk minimization measures. Then another thing is that these reports will published in worldwide regulatory reports, so all the pharmaceutical company throughout the world can understand, okay, this is the event is happening, for example in South Africa, the way example I have given. So others will be alert, like India, CDSCO, Indian regulatory authority, they are also banning those drugs, or their license will be withdrawn. So it's not only at some one part. Okay, so this is how PV works. Then work streams. So which are the work streams in the pharmacovigilance field or the department, you can say. So I have already mentioned in my previous video as well, that MICC is nothing but medical information contact call center. The way I mentioned that these reports will come like spontaneous reports. So it's mandatory for the pharmaceutical company that they should have some toll-free numbers or the emails and fax, so that patient healthcare professionals can spontaneously report the events. And they will also encourage, in some of the countries they will keep some yellow forms or some other types of forms, form at the counter of the pharmacy or some other places where they can report it. Then other department is like drug safety or case processing. We'll see different roles in this also in coming slide. Then aggregate reporting or medical writing or safety writing. So this is also one of the stream. Then signal detection, another field, and last one is risk management plan. So RMP we are also calling it as, and these are the streams where you can find your job opportunity. So drug safety or the case processing part. I'm not going to the detail of the call center part because that is just you have to handle the calls, and for that you need good communication. So that is the only thing. Also, definitely there are also career opportunity in that part. So call handler will be there, one of the role, and the QCR for how they have handled the call. So that is one of the field. Then another is drug safety or case processing. In this, the way we have seen that this ICSR part, so this triage data entry, then so there will be a safety databases like Argus, Oracle based safety databases will be there. So in that we have to update the document. So if the recording is there, so that recording will be converted into the PDF form, and they will, for example, emails, faxes, that will come as a source document, and case processor they have to enter that data, they have to code the events and all these things. Then after that, tenured associate will do the quality review of that particular thing. Then literature reviewer, like the way we have seen that literature reports will be published, so literature review activity will be there. Then medical reviewer. So medical, at all the places whenever medical reviewer will come or medical word will come in this pharmacovigilance part, so at that time MBBS or MD. So these are the qualifications, or these like physicians I would say, these are the medical reviewer role will be always with respect to physicians. But please note that BDS and BMS, they will not be they are not allowed to work as a medical reviewer. They will be working like a case processor and all. So medical review will be always MBBS and MD. Mostly they are preferring like pharmacology MDs. Okay, and then another role you will find this in subject matter expert or SME, where you can guide the others, or trainers role is also available in this. And last one is management. So after working in this field for certain period of time, you can become a manager or team leader or like that. So that is also one of the role available in this field. So qualification, as I mentioned, MBBS, MD, BDS, BMS, and pharmacists, they can work in this field. In all these fields, you'll find that the same qualification, they can work like MBBS, MD, and all physicians and pharmacists can work in this, like aggregate reporting, RMP, and signal detection management. Now we'll go to the aggregate reporting and safety writing. So this aggregate reporting, the way I mentioned that there will be, we'll just see the what exactly aggregate reporting is. The process that reviews the cumulative safety information from a wide range of sources on a periodic basis. So as I mentioned, there will be defined timeline like 6 months. When drug is new into the market, then it will be like 4 months or 6 months, and after that, once drug is after 2 years or 3 years, it will be like once in a year, and after that every 3 years. So like that, it will be timelines will be quite relaxed. Okay. So as I mentioned, you ICSRs cannot give you the clear picture because we need cumulative data. We need large amount of data from various sources. Then only we will be able to find out some statistical relations, whether this is related with the drug or not. For example, one patient is taking the drug and rash is occurring, then we cannot find out the relation between those. Like, but for example, you have lakhs of patients, and thousands of patients are suffering from same event, then definitely there will be it will give a possible relation that okay, this can happen, and then they will evaluate that signal. So that is how we'll find out new things in this. Okay. Then roles in this: author or safety writer, he will write that report. So template will be there are different types in this also: PSUR, DSUR, paiders. So you can be a author of that, you will write that. Then quality reviewer will check the quality of that whichever you have written, and then accordingly feedback will be provided to you. And then medical reviewer, so they will be finalized with respect to whole report, like what exactly is required, any changes, and then after that submission of this aggregate report will be to the regulatory authority will occur. Then signal detection. So the way I mentioned, this is just signal detection and the risk management plan. These are the output, or these are the outcome. So why we are doing all these activities, pharmacovigilance, case processing, ICSR, aggregate, or all these things. The reason is that we have to find out signal detection. So what exactly is the signal? So signal can be, okay, before going to these things, I just want to tell you that it's not always that we are just working, or we are only finding out the adverse event. It may happen that sometimes happy observation by chance, like we may get the reports that I was using this drug for XYZ indication, but I found that my hairs are increasing. I mean, I was bald, but I just noticed that my hairs are growing. Some other effects, I'm just giving this example, like some side effects might be used as an indication for some drug. Like for example, if when we are taking some drug and it's releasing some or activating some type of hormones, so when there is a deficiency in that particular disease where that hormone need activation, so we can use that drug there. So this is how it works. It's not always like negative things, like what are the adverse events and all these things. But obviously these are not negative things. These are the things which we are giving the data so that we are avoiding the risk. Like by this way we can tell the patient that okay, we have found these many reports where there is an issue, so by this way we can tackle this issue. So that is nothing but the mitigation strategy or risk management plan. So we'll just go to the things. So signal what can happen, we will find out that new unlabeled adverse events. So there are some labeled and unlabeled. So what is label means during clinical trial we will find out that okay, these are the adverse events, we are aware. So we'll prepare one label and that will be that these are known adverse events. Okay, but something is coming new which was not there in that previous label, so definitely that will be unlabeled adverse event. Or sometimes it may happen that that event was already there but it was in mild in nature, or frequency was less, or it was no like some specificity came to into the our knowledge that okay, this is specific to this patient, or specific, like for example that event, sometimes there are events which are not occurring into the Indian patients or Asians, but while after taking same drug, European patients, I mean those of European origin, they may have some certain type of adverse event. So that specificity will might come into the picture. After that, obviously, during, as we mentioned, that clinical trial, in clinical trial we are not taking multiple drugs and all in combination, but in market we may find that the people are taking multiple drugs and all. So we may come to know that there is a drug interaction or food drug interaction or drug alcohol interaction. So this will come into the picture. Then product issues or medication errors. So like for example, there is some uh, injection which we have to which patient has to take himself. There will be some types of shots, migraine shots and all. So if there is some issue, then we will find out that okay, there is some issue. Then like people, consumers are not able to use it properly. So we should either change the that defect, update that, correct that defect in the that particular product, or sometimes it may happen that we may get the adverse event, like for example your adrenaline IM, that is intramuscular, and in adrenaline IV, their label is exactly same and there is nothing mentioned on that. So sometimes in emergency, instead of giving IV adrenaline, we give the IM inadvertently. So these types of things will give us signal that okay, so as a pharmaceutical company we should update the label, we should write the IM word in bold letter. Or you might have seen that in some of the bottles it will be not for IV use or like that, okay, or not for oral use. So that is the thing. By this data we may get that signal, okay. Or identification of new at risk population. So pregnancy is one of the example. Like previously obviously we were not having the any data of the pregnancy. So now, due to this aggregate report and signal detection, we came to know that okay, so this is the thing is happening in now in the thalidomide is the example now. So birth defects are happening, so definitely pregnancy population is at risk, so we should avoid using, or there will be some another risk mitigation strategy. So this is how, this is nothing but the signal detection. Then risk management plan. So after finding out the signal, then what we'll do, we'll identify and analyze the exposures, then examine the risk management techniques. Okay, select risk management technique, implement technique, and monitor results. So it's not like that we are only identifying the risk, but we are trying to mitigate it. So risk management plan is like we are checking the we are comparing the benefit versus risk. So if benefit is more as compared to risk, then drug will be there in the market. If risk is more and benefit is less, then definitely drug may it will be withdrawn from the market. So by risk management plan, we will identify the future of that drug. Okay, so how risk management plan works? So in short, I'll just explain. So safety specification. So important identify risk or important potential risk or important missing information. So by this way, it will be categorized. So missing means it was not previously there. Some identified risks are there or some potential risks. So currently, for example, in first 3 years, you just came to know the, okay, so in some of the pregnancy, patients, there was some birth defects. So it's not like that, there's some can be natural as well. Okay, it's not always that drug is causing that. So now what that RMP committee or the regulatory authority will ask you as a pharmaceutical company, that please check this signal, just monitor this signal, okay, for next 1 year or something like that, so that we will come to know that, okay, this is really with respect to the drug, or this is with respect, this is natural. Okay, so what are the pharmacovigilance activities in the risk management plan? Is that a routine activity will be there. Additional is that if they're finding that there is some risk, so regulatory authority may ask you that do some additional post-marketing surveillance. Okay, some types of studies will be there. There are some pregnancy registries or some types of additional studies will be there. Already clinical trials data is there, but some types of additional study will be there. You do the surveillance and give us the report in this particular timeline. So that is one additional activity regulatory authority can ask to the pharmaceutical company. And in risk management minimization activity, so there are plans for safety measures taken to minimize the individual risk. So in this relate routine is that the way I mentioned that there will be, so I will explain this in case study, what exactly we are updating in this particular part. And then additional is can be like information provision on APP, like safety measures for proper use, setting the terms of use, that there will be some mandatory things may happen, and they may ask you to do the risk management plan and provide it to the health authority. And it's not only providing the plan, we have to check the effectiveness and we have to monitor results. If something, if we are not monitoring this, so the way we have seen the first example in rural areas, still thalidomide is used and it's still causing the birth defects. Okay, and the case study. Now we'll see the case study. So I told you 2 3 times that there will be update in the package insert. So package insert is nothing but we are calling it as RSI, that is nothing but reference safety information. So as I mentioned, in clinical trials, some adverse events or some data will come with respect to indications, some adverse events and all. So that data is nothing but this package insert. So label. So you must have seen that in some of the medicines we will get some leaflet. So that is nothing but the label. So for example, due to pharmacovigilance study and signal, we understood that there are some events occurring. Like for example, if we have seen here, already label events were there and frequency has been increased, or some new unlabeled adverse events came into the market, or some adverse drug reaction and reactions came to the market, or identification of new risk or population or benefit effects are there. So if beneficial effect is there, it will be added into the indication, new indication, and these things will be getting updated in this label. So this is one of the label I have found on online. So you can see here, this is the label of thalidomide for one of the company. So what they have done now, do not get pregnant. So they have clearly mentioned this pictorial thing here that is showing that pregnancy should be avoided, or pregnant ladies should not take this. Okay, so if you are male, you must use a latex or synthetic condom every time you have sex with a female who is able to get pregnant, even if you have had a successful vasectomy. So they are just making it aware. So this is just outcome or the actual why pharmacovigilance is needed. Okay, so they are making it aware to the patients or the healthcare professional. So these are the things you should keep into the mind. Okay, then another update you can see here. So it is clearly mentioned that this can happen. Okay, the same way that in pictorial format that these things, that is nothing but phocomelia. So this had happened. Okay, so you can see here birth defects, everything is mentioned in the red line, that these other medical problems and all these things. So this is the outcome if the drug is causing something, which, for example, as I mentioned, thalidomide was not withdrawn from the market, but it was strictly strictly mentioned that it should not be used in the pregnancy. So now they are trying to find out by RMP. They regulatory authorities found that label can be updated. So this is one of the parts. Okay, so as we have seen that there can be various things, like this is amend the prescribing information. So we are amending that. Okay, so do not get pregnant and all this. And if there is something like sulfanilamide or something directly death is causing, and we are sure that this is due to the event, it will be withdrawn from the market. Okay, and risk minimization measures can be like, for example, we can find out some other ways, or if possible. Okay, and if not, then definitely there will be there is no other way other than withdrawing that drug from the market. And last but not least is the very important part, and everyone is enthusiastic about this, that is nothing but the job opportunities. So what are the top companies? So I have not included all the companies. These are top companies and their locations. So these are offering job opportunities in the pharmacovigilance field, and even for aggregate reporting and risk management, RMP, and all these things. Okay, so left hand side I have put all the core companies, pharmaceutical companies, and right hand side I have put all the, I have kept all the CROs or the some IT companies. So which are providing the job opportunity in the pharmacovigilance field. So Novartis location is Hyderabad. Novartis is at many places, but where PV's branch is there, or where PV activities are happening, those places I have added here. So Novartis Hyderabad, Lupin Mumbai, Cipla Mumbai, Eli Lilly Bangalore. So AstraZeneca, Teva, Merck, these are the pharmaceutical companies. There are a lot of openings there. There are a lot of job opportunities are coming for out for these companies, but all these companies are located in Bangalore. Their PV department is active here. Okay, then after that, Cognizant, it's in Mumbai, Pune, and Kolkata. Then Lapcop Drug Development, it was previously Cyphormix, and then later on it was Covance as well. So currently it's Lapcop, it's in Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore. Then Accenture, Cognizant, Accenture, these are IT companies. Then Bangalore and Chennai. Then IQA, it's a CRO, Bangalore and Mumbai. Then TCS, it's a IT company, you are all are aware. It's in Mumbai and Pune. Then Clario, Mysore. Then Wipro, Pune, and Delhi. So these are the top companies and their location. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel, and share this video to the others, so that they will also come to know that what exactly is the pharmacovigilance, and what are the job opportunities and various companies which are providing the job opportunities. Thank you so much.